Do you agree with this statement?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the very important foundation for my presentation today. So when I say it is debugging human relationships, when we talk about the Johari Window Model, a little later when we dive into the areas of concern, we can take this tool. Every organization expects a high performance teams, leave alone only technology firms as such. And you people, technology professionals, spend a lot of time on debugging code because any sort of a mishap results in a solution failure. And you don't have to talk to you much on that because you're immersed in this area, in that particular functional area. So we carefully examine every error and every conflict, every system failure and all. So, but many project delays, team conflicts, communication breakdowns, please note that they're not technical problems. Of course, you talk about better, there is another system we rarely debug, that is ourselves. So this is a very problematic scenario when we talk about building high performance teams working together, etc. So most of the problems, what I would like to present before you is the awareness problems. As I've said, we are working with human resources. So let's go for the problem areas in difficult collaboration scenarios. See, when you say the complexity of human being, if you would like to define human being, my question, very funny question sometimes we pose, that are we human beings? Of course, the answer is very definitely yes. But then, can you describe a human being? When it comes to chemistry between two human beings, the problem can be very differently be examined. Human beings think, human beings feel, human beings act. That is, if you refer to any book on psychology, on defining human beings or understanding human beings. Human being thinks. You have a brain, bumpy knot inside the skull, which is the nerve center for billions of nerve cells, which helps you to think rationally, think for better things. But very often we question that people do have brains. Very funny question again, but I'm not to make this session a mockery, but I would like to answer this question with a scientific temper. When we talk about psychology underpinnings or behavioral science lessons, and again, people always say, do you have brains? When they go, the arguments, heated arguments go whenever you have involved in conversations, conscious conversations. Sometimes these questions will come. And people may say, oh, okay, where is your brain? Is it in the kneecap or in the foot itself? These are very funny questions. Leave alone the humor part of it, but whether you think better, because you're in a complex scenarios. You're maintaining relationships, hierarchical relationships in your team effort. You have a team lead, you have your own subordinates, you have your own colleagues working with you as a team. Okay, that's about thinking. About feeling, these are excited states. You're born with two nervous systems, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system ignites certain hormonal secretions result in our excitements. Maybe, for example, anger. How good are you in managing anger? And our parasympathetic nervous system, helps us to come to normalcy. When you are experiencing anger, yes, some things will definitely happen. But then your parasympathetic nervous system controls normalcy. But unfortunately, our complexity is that we don't give time for parasympathetic nervous system. Hence, our emotions arouse. And you lose your, what you call, emotional intelligence, whatever you call it. And then you act. People are known by their actions, not by their words. So when your actions can definitely decipher how you're behaving with others. So here comes the very important implication. So many organizations face situations like this. Highly skilled engineers struggling to work together. Meetings where people remain silent but complain later. Meetings are silent meetings. You're not allowed to talk, or sometimes, what happens? You may be liking, you may not be liking the environment, and you become silent. And after the meeting is over, you come out of the meeting hall and say, "This is right, this is wrong, and what is this?" And see, this is again complaining later. Brilliant ideas that sometimes never get expressed. Reasons may be very many. So what happens in most of the organizations, talented individuals who intentionally create a lot of tensions. See, what is happening here? If these things happen, don't you think that any organization, leave alone your technology organizations, we often assume technical intelligence automatically leads to effective teamwork. But that's a misnomer, my dear friends. But research shows something is different. Many failures in projects happen because of communication gaps and behavioral blind spots. I stop for a moment. Do you agree with this analogy?
Yes, sir.
Exactly, sir.
Let's go ahead. Here is the concept which I would like to launch here: the hidden bugs in human behavior, just like your software sector. Humans also have bugs. See, in software systems, you are very much interested to clear out all hidden bugs. When a system is behaving unintended way, you help check the bug. And sometimes, there will be a lot of performance issues coming in. Then you would like to check your software programs, in spite of the fact that you put all your brains into that. Similarly, in human behavior also, we have said, you're working in teams. Team lead is the concepts that usually you use in software sector. Normally we talk about in other organizations also, teams and all, but you talk about team lead and all. The concepts are very clear in case of software industry. So similarly, in human behavior, when you're working together, there are certain blind spots. What are they? Let's examine. There are certain hidden emotions which are not open up. Reasons may be very many. You have a lot of unexpressed thoughts. Why do you have it? Multiple reasons. There is unknown potential. Your potential is not known to yourself as well as your colleagues. So this is how it happens. So don't you think that human behavior disturbs or helps the team? And the objective of working in teams is to be considered very important when you look at the undercurrents here. So it is in this context we talk about human bugs. Some surprising analysis from my side. I don't know whether we agree or not. Today we have the manual world. Everything we use comes with a manual. That's a user guide, what you call it. Think about machines, right from the washing machine to a cooking oven or whatever. Machines come. Sorry. Hello. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's think about this kind of a scenario. I'm not talking anything which is not known to you, but I want to make a relevance here. I would like to draw a very important point here. Machines come with instruction manuals. Any machine for that matter, leave alone your computing systems. Software applications have user guidelines. Whenever you develop a software solution, you give a user guideline to your client. Your systems have very big documentation, very good documentation processes. And even our mobile apps also have onboarding tutorials. You have a user manual. You have to check what it means. So in the technology world, we never use any system without understanding how it works. Is it right or wrong? In the technology world, you are very much worried about bug-free environment. You create a manual before you create a system. We expect documentation, clarity, and guidelines. Absolutely. Very, very important because you're creating a solution to a client. Let's examine that. Here is the missing manual. But what about human beings? You're working with them. All of us working together. Human beings, do they have user manual? Take your boss, your subordinate, your team member. How to communicate with them? How to interact with them? There are no user manuals. No behavior documentation. You just do not know the next second how do I behave because you don't have my behavior documentation. Just like that, your colleagues, your bosses, your subordinates, whatever. So there are no emotional guides also. Emotional orientations are quite common. We just do not know. When a person experiences anger, when in a joy or whatever, there are no emotional guides. No clear instructions on how to interact. Who tells you, my dear friends, tell me, who tells you how to interact with your bosses, how to interact with your team members, how to interact with you? Any formal training programs you experience where you work with human beings? After all, you talk about too much about team building approaches, communication styles, and all that. But all in sum, we say, this is the biggest problem, the missing manual. What about human beings? We work with the most complex system in the world. That is called human beings. Without any manual. So I'm not creating any nonsense out of my presentation. When I say human beings, my idea is to present human beings as a complex phenomenon, complex. Because you and me are not same. Where there are individuals, there are individual differences. So it is in this context. How good are you to manage yourself and to manage others without a user manual? It's surprising. It's very funny also. You may make fun out of me when you say, what is this talking? What is the user manual for a human being? But there is a definite undercurrent if you try to answer it. The real problem is, how do we understand each other? Tell me. You can understand a system. You can understand a lot of codes. You can understand a program essentially. You can understand a documentation procedure. But without manuals, what happens when you would like to work with human beings? See, we often say that, no, hell with my subordinate, hell with my team member. Why these things? All of us are working for a common platform. Organizations have given you the goals and all that, set procedures and all. Why these misunderstandings? Why wrong assumptions about people? Why these communication gaps? Why these relationship conflicts? Why we assume X to be X, Y to be Y, or X to be Y, Y to be Z, instead of very clear understanding? Because X has no user manual, Y has no user manual. Again, my intention is not to make this session a mockery, but my intention is to give you the clear message that in a complex scenario today, the organizational complexity is multiplied because of misunderstandings, miscommunications, lack of teamwork, teamwork scenarios, wrong assumptions of people, and leading to relationship conflicts. I stop for a moment here. Again, I asked you, is this true? Is this becoming a true phenomenon in most of the organizations of yours today? Yes. So this is the area of concern. Here, we try to look at the tool, which is, of course, a very old tool, but it's very relevant even today also. This is what we call a tool developed by Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham. For want of a better name, the two first names are added, and we often see Johari Window. It's named like that. Let's examine what's this purpose. What's its purpose? This purpose, the model's purpose here is to improve self-awareness and improve interpersonal communication, understanding self and understanding others. And if you do that, and it builds trust in teams, and you can go good. Because even today, this tool is considered to be one of the best tools for application as such, and which helps. A clear understanding of this can help us to develop your own leadership abilities and how you build up your teams and for a smooth functioning and all. So in organizational psychology, this tool is given sufficient importance even today. Let's go ahead. So what is this tool all about? I'm not sure whether you heard about this or not. I think those who are having some managerial roles may happen to read any texts on management or organizational behavior. I think you might have had some idea of at least the name of this. But even otherwise, I might tell you about the importance of this, the tool, which can be very relevant today. Now, this tool talks about two things only, just feedback and self-disclosure. Because this is only our only interface with others. You assume yourself and to be in a particular role, and there is others. But now we take one-to-one. And of course, you can apply it to one-to-many as such. But let's say, I repeat that there is no manual. How do you use your colleagues? Use in the sense, of course, using is it looks nonsensical word, but when you mingle, when you communicate with them, you don't know the other person. But again, very major question comes here. Do you know yourself? In which context you sail well? In which context you get frustration? So these are the very potential threats now, or human functionality issues. So since there is no user manual, we depend on two things here. That is feedback. That means the people, when you are working with people, others tell us how we are experienced by them. Let us be very frank. Are you getting this feedback from your colleagues? They may not give you open feedbacks, but their behavior cues will warn you that you are not decoded properly, that you yourself do not know. When you go with the discussion further, you can understand it better. So others tell us how we are experienced by them. But you should have a format. You should have a strategy to have this feedback. This is called soliciting feedback. You have to solicit feedback as and when the situation arises continuously. Because you should have a technique of getting how you are being decoded by your colleagues. Very, very important. Second is your self-disclosure. No hide and seek games. We share what is inside us. It does not mean all the secrets must be disclosed. That's not the meaning when we talk about self-disclosure. You should have to what you call unmask in terms of your relationship with your colleagues. Masking yourself, meaning that you're not disclosing yourself. People often say, of course, in offices, even at homes also, we talk about it. So, okay, till today, you see me as Rama. From tomorrow, you see the other side. I will show you who Ramana is. These are funny statements. I'm not here to make humor out of it, but this is very interesting aspect. We share what is inside us. If you don't share because of n number of reasons, your self-disclosure is missing. How do I know what is inside you, what skill you have, what intentions you have, what feelings you have? So these are the only two ways to read a human system, friends. So this is exactly the point where we would like to have with the help of a diagrammatic presentation. I'm sure that you can visualize the slide very much. This is where our Johari window helps. As you know, it's a window has 4 blocks. And this Johari window explains this. What we know about ourselves and what others know about us. Please carefully follow. If you just be attentive to capture the final points which I would like to give you, because if you take a little mental excursion, you get lost. My sincere request for you is, this is the crux of the presentation of mine. You please try to capture every detail out of it, and a little later at the end, I'm very sure to answer all the queries you would like to have. So the window explains this, what we know about ourselves. Are you sure about answering yourself this question? Very funny on the face of it. What we know about ourselves. Do you know when you get anger? Are you sure? Are you moody? Mood swings you experience? What type of a mood you have today now? One more thing is that people often say, so I'm sorry, I'm not in good mood now. Please call me after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, the boss calls you after, you go out of your boss chamber and keep quiet. And after that, your boss telephones you. Mr. So-and-so, you asked my interaction. I'm sorry, I'm not in good moods. Now, please come and see me. Can you say that I'm not in good moods now, sir? Please, I can come only after half an hour. It looks funny, but yes, human beings will experience these mood swings, emotional outbursts, this, that. So these are all possible. Do you know what happens? So what we know about ourselves. Second is what others know about us, because you're not disclosing properly. If you disclose properly, make sure that you're known to others in maybe 99%. So what is hidden, what's unknown? You just look at this graph sheet. This is a diagrammatic presentation. Those who are just aware of a simple graph sheet, we have x-axis and we have y-axis. On x-axis, you talk about known to self. I'm just moving the cursor also for others to see. Oh, I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, this is, I think you can see my cursor also. This is known to self, unknown to self. This is on x-axis. Of course, you can write it in the bottom also. That's, okay, sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, this is it. Okay, and on y-axis, known to others and unknown to others. Very important. Knowing yourself, not knowing yourself is a problem. Absolutely, yes. Because that's what typicality is all about. Because you're human beings. We are not fixed. We're absolutely variable. When the situation changes, you change. Your attitudes will change. Your thinking patterns would change. So that's why we need to answer what type of mood orientations we have, what type of skills I have, and what type of behavior modes do generally I have. Though it is difficult, but let's try to answer it in its proper perspective. So the second one, of course, is another problem. Known to others, mind it. I'm not saying, do you know your subordinate? No. At this point of time, that's not the thing. At this point of time, you must be known to others, unknown to others. People often say, if I'm permitted to talk in Telugu also, ఈయన అర్థం చేసుకోవడం నా వల్ల కాదురా బాబు, మీకు ఏమన్నా అర్థమవుతున్నాడా ఈయన అని అడుగుతారు. ఏంటిది? ఈవెన్ ఇంట్లో కూడా మనము వైఫ్ అండ్ హస్బెండ్ పెంచిన 40 ఏళ్ళు అయింది కానీ 35 ఏళ్ళు 30 ఏళ్ళు అయింది కానీ పెళ్లి చేసుకుని నిన్ను అర్థం చేసుకోవడం మనకి అప్పుడు వాళ్ళ బ్రహ్మతరం కూడా కాదు. మిమ్మల్ని అర్థం చేసుకోవడం కూడా అంతే. అంటే వైఫ్ అండ్ హస్బెండ్ ఏంటి అర్థం చేసుకోవడం ఏంటి? వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ హియర్? అంటే మీరు యూఆర్ నాట్ సెల్ఫ్ డిస్క్లోజింగ్, known to others, unknown to others. ఇక్కడ ఈ బ్లాక్స్ కాంబినేషన్స్ లో, because you are the students of science background, I need not have to tell you much about it. ఇక్కడ జాగ్రత్తగా మీరు గమనిస్తే ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఇది ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ known to self and known to others ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి. దిస్ ఇస్ ఫ్యాంటాస్టిక్ బ్లాక్ ఆఫ్ ది విండో, ఓపెన్ ఏరియా అన్నమాట. ఐ జస్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఫర్దర్. అండ్ దిస్ ఇస్ నో, ఇక్కడ చూసాం అనుకోండి, ఈ రెడ్ కలర్ మీన్ పింక్ కలర్కి వస్తే దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ వి కాల్ అన్నోన్ టు సెల్ఫ్. మీరంటే ఏంటో మీకు తెలీదు, బట్ అదర్స్కి తెలుసు మీరంటే ఏంటో. యువర్ నోన్ టు అదర్స్. అరే నేను ఇలా మాట్లాడానా, నాకు తెలియదే అన్నారు అనుకోండి, అదే మీ బ్లైండ్ స్పాట్ అని అర్థం. అంటే మీరు సెల్ఫ్ అవేర్నెస్లో లేరన్నారు. ఓకే, ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడికి వచ్చాం అనుకోండి, హిడెన్. నోన్ టు సెల్ఫ్ అంటే మీరంటే ఏంటో మీకు తెలుసు, కానీ అన్నోన్ టు అదర్స్ అంటే మీరు హైడ్ అండ్ సీక్ గేమ్ ఆడుతున్నారు. మీరు ఫుల్గా అదర్స్కి ఛాన్స్ ఇవ్వలేదు అండర్స్టాండింగ్. యు జస్ట్ నాట్ గివెన్ ఎ క్లియర్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఆఫ్ హూ యు ఆర్ అనేది మీకు క్లారిటీ ఉంటే సరిపోదు. మీరు నెట్వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి అదర్స్తో, అదర్స్ మిమ్మల్ని కరెక్ట్గా డీకోడ్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఇది హిడెన్ ఏరియా. ఇది అన్నోన్ అనుకోండి, అన్నోన్ టు సెల్ఫ్ అండ్ అన్నోన్ టు అదర్స్ అంటే దిస్ ఇస్ అన్ ఎక్స్ప్లోజివ్ థింగ్. ఈ బ్లాక్ లో ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు భగవంతుడే కాపాడాలి. ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ హ్యూమన్ రిలేషన్స్ క్లైమేట్ సినారియో చాలా చాలా డిస్టర్బింగ్ గా ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ విండో గివ్స్ అస్ ది స్ట్రక్చర్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ హ్యూమన్ బిహేవియర్ without a manual. So this is, if at all, if you want to have, you develop your own manuals and be ready to understand yourself and to be understood by others. So let's examine these things in detail. Am I clear to you, friends? Am I clear to you? This is an abstract from behavioral science, but then if you can understand it, I think I can go ahead. Another I think 10, 15 minutes, I don't know. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. What the Johari window really is, let's see. See, this Johari window is a model to understand how information about a person is distributed between self-awareness and others' awareness, as a matter of fact. And you don't have to tell you, because that's only a further explanation, this slide here. Anyway, we have already, just on the earlier slide, we have talked about it. So this is a very clear thing. When you are trying to understand yourself and trying to understand others, as a matter of fact. But these things, as I've already explained, what is an ideal scenario where you can maintain the cordial relationships with others? And you need not have to search for bugs, or others also need not have to search for bugs. So both of you, I mean to say you and your related others, can be a boss, it can be a subordinate, can be a team member, it can be a client, or anybody for that matter. So self is known, others are known. Yes, it's an open area. Self is unknown, others are known, because the others are knowing what you do not know about yourself. That means you are blind. to yourself. And self, known, others unknown. You know about how you think, but you have to function in the eyes of others minded because you're networking with others. Because the entire analysis what we make is the human relations sophistication. Because human beings do not understand each other unless you make an attempt to understand each other. That's the problem. Because there are no user manuals, just like what you have in other systems. So that's the thing. If you know yourself, it does not mean that you're perfect, but you should be known to others. So known and unknown result in hidden. You're hiding yourself. Please come out of your, hiding in the bushes, whatever. So unknown is, God only can help this personality. So what is being analyzed here? The diagram analyzes information about you first of all. Please, it is I-centered, meaning you-centered. So when you try to understand these things, I think in simple terms, which I can say, everything that defines how you are experienced by others. You may have your own knowledge. You have your own knowledge about yourself, but you have to communicate the same with others also. So behavior, your attitudes, your feelings, your communication style, your strengths and weaknesses, your habits, etc., must be known to you first and must be made known to others also. That's it. If you do not do that, then the problem comes. That's why, again, I repeat here before we close. This open area, blind area, hidden area, and unknown areas are very, very important for analysis. That's why I have circulated a questionnaire also. I think Sandeep might have given you the questionnaire for circulation. Maybe that you have a little confusion about the statements and the analysis of those statements. And again, of course, I have seen the message put by Sridhar. They have asked ChatGPT and the questionnaires have been simplified and all that. But again, of course, we may not be having sufficient time for analysis. You take the discussion for the next coming, 15, 20 minutes discussion would be fine for us because you can, these are all self-explanatory questionnaires. I'm sorry, self-explanatory questions. A little, what I could say that a little analysis into yourself and picking up questions for grading A/B statements is very important because human complexity is such. So that's the important aspect about the questionnaire. So there are open areas, blind areas, hidden area, and unknown area. This creates the Johari window. And I just would like to describe for further analysis before I close. I take a few minutes of your time. Let's examine what are these four quadrants. The open area known to self and known to others. What I know about myself and others also know. Very, very important thing. If you would like to be enjoying the open area bigger in your windows, please note that this should happen. What I know about myself and others also know you clearly. That means your skills, your communications style, etc., and your visible behavior. Mind it, human beings will always be secretive because that's it. That's complexity. You just can't. I need not have to over amplify the puzzle. The reason is this: once you start communicating, once you start functioning, your opinions will definitely either acknowledge or what I can say, your earlier thinking may be okay, or your earlier thinking about X, Y, Z may be completely different. This is what happens. So as far as possible, in order to maintain a success story of yourself and your team to understand better and have a perfect team building in the process of handling different scenarios, please try to understand you should have your own visible behavior. And this is the transparent space. And this actually builds trust. Why this open area matters, and you don't have to tell you much about it. See, transparency is very important. Transparency is equal to trust. See, they can be much faster decision making, smoother collaboration. You do not have to stress yourself, especially when you're working on deadlines prescribed by clients. A lot of teamwork is necessary. So a project manager who openly discusses the project risks, deadlines, constraints, and building clarity across the team, that is very important. The larger your open area, the fewer is a misunderstanding. Check yourself. That's why the questionnaire tells you to answer all the questions, and you can plot yourself. I forgot to make a mention on the there are two things on x-axis and y-axis. You have soliciting feedback, giving feedback, and soliciting feedback. You have to have soliciting feedback, meaning you have to get the feedback. Feedback does not mean you ask somebody, no, do you favor me? Am I clear in my goals? Am I clear in my decision areas? No, these open feedbacks are not possible. Because you see, you can, with a lot of homework, you can identify a bug in the system, but you never identify a bug in a human being, your colleague, your subordinate, or your team. I'm sorry, your bosses or whatever. So blind area is a hidden bug, known to others and unknown to self. You may ask me a surprising question: is this possible? How can I be known to others and unknown to myself? Something funny. Anybody can answer this question. It looks very funny. How it happens? Will it happen?
Yes, it will be.
Hema?
Yes, Divya, it is.
It can happen when they have lack of trust on themselves or lack of self-awareness.
Absolutely. Known to others but unknown to self. Others see it, but I don't see about myself. At this given point of time, everybody is being rated, especially when you're in a group scenario. As a matter of fact, once you start joining it, your CVs are only 50% of your story. Once you start functioning, the exact problem unveiled about yourself and your bosses, your subordinate, whatever. So, for example, you are interpreting others in a meeting when they share their ideas. Your tone of voice is so severe that you are disregarding others. No voice protocols. Sometimes, your higher tone and all that. Or sometimes, very, very, very low tone. You may think that you're very confident, but you're not presenting the idea in a vociferous, manner, emphatic manner. And people think that, no, he's a very defensive person. He's not authoritative on this subject. So your body language, how you are going to behave yourself, this is fantastic. There's lots and lots can be learned about body language, because you function as an individual and you have a body and a mind. So every gesture of yours in a setting makes others understand differently. And there's a need for us also to fine-tune our body language so that your image is deciphered exactly what you want. Otherwise, you don't know about yourself. You're known to others, but you don't know how to behave alone. This creates a problem without awareness. This is reduced by feedback. Where you're never asked. You blindly pursue things. You never asked, you never bother to, get the feedback, how you're being decoded. That's your hidden bug, my dear friends. It's your problem. It's our problem to debug. So the blind spots normally we have, just like have a case in point. Say, for example, I just take, because I'm addressing you people from information technology, so I thought it proper to, give examples from your sector only to drive home my point. A brilliant software architect, technically very, very exceptional, but in meetings, he used to dismiss juniors' ideas, interrupts others when they are giving their own opinions and becomes completely impatient. Completely impatient. They're not interested at all to listen to others exhaustively. Can you think what it matters? I mean, how it matters to others? The impact is team stops sharing ideas. Why? Can you tell me why teams stop sharing ideas? Why?
Due to authoritative word.
Yes, they have decoded you that you are an indifferent person. You are an impatient person. You're interrupting others. Why should I give you the idea? Because you're always interrupting. So team stops sharing ideas. Innovation drops. No more idea generation. Absolutely. Very basic question mark. So the reality check is the software who is said to be technically exceptional thinks that my team is not creative. Is it right? Is this assumption of technically superior software architect, is his opinion right? He thinks that my team is not creative. Just don't tell me, because there's interesting analysis here. See, when the team is waiting for beautiful interactions, but he is cutting down. But in reality,
I'm surprised how he became the architect, the team lead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct. So his blind spot is blocking that. Because he does not know, because he never knows that he is doing all these things, interrupting and impatient behavior, and juniors are snubbed and all that. He doesn't know that this creates the biggest problem. Reason is his blind spot. So in such cases, if you want to correct your blind spots, go and discuss with them what's happening. Why you're not talking in meetings? Why you're not giving me the your ideas? Open, please note, you can't expect an open feedback if you speak in an authoritative tone. Naturally, because boss-subordinate relationships matter a lot in most of the organizations, as a matter of fact. So that must be intelligent feedback we collected with reference to human beings, because no manual, no user guide. People are differently placed with different people. That's again a problem. X will be decoded by Y differently, by Z differently, by A differently, because you'll be behaving with Y, Z, A differently when it comes to different types of scenarios. So this becomes a biggest problem. People will always think that you're of this type, you're of that type. So do you agree this, or do you swallow all these nonsensical comments that are making out, I mean, ineffective? You're projected to be somewhat X, Y, Z, but we are not X, Y, Z, you're A. How do others know that you are being decoded like this? So that's your blind spot. The biggest problem is not lack of talent, expertise, and all that. It is behavior we are unaware of. You're behaving like that. Let's ask these subordinates. Let's ask the team members. Various cues will be there for you to understand. They're stopping their ideas. They're stopping their voices. The meetings are becoming silent. Why don't you understand what's happening? Something happens here. If you don't understand, that's your blind spot. Look at now the third one, hidden area. Known to self, hidden from others. But see here, I know it, but I don't reveal it because reasons may be very many. That if I reveal it, you may brand me as somebody ineffective, somebody who is not to be trusted, etc. Any thing, because I am fearful of my personality to be opened up differently to others. So I hide myself. So maybe because of fear, maybe because of doubts that your idea is not to be taken, to be given a green signal. That's how you function. Ideas are not shared at all. And if you don't do that, if you do that, this creates a distance and complete silence and reduce the self-disclosure because you're hiding yourself. Open up. So this hidden area, I'll just give you one more example. A developer finds a way to improve performance by 30%, but stays silent. Why? Senior voices dominate. Fear of rejection. You may say that I may be rejected and some other people will be dominating my voice and all. So result is ideas never shared. Innovations get lost. At the macro level, the company disrupts. Definitely will be disturbed. So great ideas do not fail. They remain unspoken because you are hiding yourself. You are not clearly disclosing yourself to others where there can be free flow of communication. That's the biggest thing. Unknown area, unknown to self and unknown to others, neither I nor others know. You may have your hidden talents. You may have leadership ability. You may have, you may be stress tolerant. You have extraordinary skill of tolerance of trust and stress and all that. But your reactions under pressure are different. So this is a potential space. This can be discovered through experience only. If there is a free flow of communication between yourself and the relevant others, maybe your boss, subordinate, or a colleague, whatever, this unknown area is the biggest problem. You should never, ever have unknown area space window bigger. If you have this, you are a puzzling individual. Because you're not interested in self-disclosure as well as getting feedback. So this scenario here, see, for example, the quiet member rarely speaks. During a crisis, he steps up and leads effectively. Okay, but then neither he nor the team knew this ability existed because you have never self-disclosed yourself and you have never asked the feedback from others. So what happens here? Your unknown area becomes there, unknown. People may discover the extraordinary talent in you whenever you open up. But why can't you open up at the beginning itself? So new situations reveal hidden potentials. You have a lot of hidden potential. Let it come out so that it can be a two-way process of understanding. You don't discover potential in a comfort zone. You discover it in a challenge scenario. You become a puzzling individual. So these are the things for us to understand. So in this diagram, when we say the diagram is not static, it's to be, it's an everyday interaction climate will undergo change in your Windows setting. It changes dynamically because we have said already situations do differ. People will have the thinking, feeling, and action orientations being differ, where there are two individuals, where the individual differences would be there. The organizational scenarios are not quite common and standardized. You have difficulty levels of interactions normally. So here you have to have a feedback. Ask the feedback from others. How do you function? Open feedbacks, no, but intelligent way of getting feedbacks. Soliciting feedback, what we call. And then for openness, you have to disclose yourself, self-disclosure. So that's what exactly we mean. This is how you need to travel, friends, here. The two powerful tools here is how good are you in self-disclosing yourself and getting the feedback, how you are being deciphered by others. So this is the context where we find it convenient for us to, for you to develop your own Johari window setting. It is desired that you should have more open area. In order to have more open area, please note that the vertical axis, the vertical line, black color line here, vertical line should be pushed towards this. See this arrow first. Or you have to diagonally push this open window further. So you have to kill your unknown area, you have to reduce your blind area, you have to reduce your hidden areas as such. So how do we expand this window? Yes, it's quite clear because of for the last 1 hour I have been discussing with you what are the importance of this and strategy. Feedback, reduce blind spots. When you interrupt, it discourages discussion. Please try to understand. Self-disclosure reduces hidden area. Example, I have an idea. Can we explore it further? You're disclosing yourself. So feedback reveals and openness builds. The beautiful saying here is feedback reveals. You get a feedback, you can reveal. You can have a revealing facts about you, how you are being deciphered, how you are being decoded by others. Self-disclosure, open feedback builds trust. Come out clearly. Why should you hide yourself? So these are all the areas of concern. So no blind area, no hidden area, no unknown area. If there are areas are there existing, please make sure that we are working for better relationship climates. Your open areas should be bigger and other areas should relatively be lesser in the window. I don't say that there are no hidden areas, no unknown areas, and no blind areas for everybody, because human behavior is very typical. So let's not assume things, but this, you need to strategize yourself. If you don't have to strategize yourself, gone. So this, the basic foundation here is that you should ensure psychological safety. Physical safety issues will not be there, as a matter of fact, but it's a psychological safety. Should I be openly communicative with you or not? How do I know? Share ideas, ask questions, admit mistakes, challenge opinions. I can also challenge, sir, it will not work. So because sometimes this kind of free flow of ideas can go for creativity, and any progressive teams who can discuss in an open format will definitely result in innovation practices. So result is open area expands, innovation increases, absolutely no safety issues. But if there is no safety, psychological safety, no sharing. If there is no sharing, no growth. Forget about it. So that's what it means. So it should be self-centered. It's very easy to blame others, but this tool helps us to understand with I as a center. With I as a center, it's very easy to understand. Very easy to blame others. He is not right. He is not right, or he is wrong, or whatever. Please note that this is very important. So the application of this I did not have to tell, because all these things matter a lot for all of you through the 1 hour discussion. The leadership truth is leaders must go first. If you want to be a team leader, please note that encouraging feedback, promote respectful communication, reward ideas for sharing, reduce fear of mistakes. Definitely, because make it as practical as possible. This is the culture you need to build up. You-centered, for example, for you, and will definitely have a very interesting climate in an organization. So, and finally, I would like to tell you with this closing remark, the Johari window is a map of self-awareness, showing what is visible, what is hidden, and what is yet to be discovered. Friends, with this, I just would like to close it here. What is one thing about you others see, but you don't? It is blind. What is one idea you are not expressing? Test yourself, but you are not self-disclosing. Self-awareness is the ultimate upgrade of any system, human system, as a matter of fact, because you talk about too much about upgrading the system, installing new systems and all in a software terminology. So, friends, great engineers debug code, but great professionals debug themselves and ignite the relationship climate. I'm very, very happy at the end of this statement. I express again my deep sense of gratitude for all of you for your very, very interesting listening to me. And I again express my deep sense of gratitude to Tech Kshetra team for having invited me to this meet. Thank you once again, all of you. And now the forum is for you to. Yes, sir. Three, two, two, three combinations. Yes, yes. No, the thing is, sir, when you work with human beings, what we say, I am not standardized and you're not standardized, as a matter of fact. When the contexts do differ, and definitely the chemistry gets different. So what happens is you have to think in very close terms and understand this statement to give 3, 2, 2, 3 as such. I know that there is a little ambiguity in that, but you still find, because that's what it means. When we're working with human beings, itself is ambiguous. Am I clear what I'm saying? So that's it. Yes. Sandeep, don't take. Yeah, please speak up. Yeah. That's why I'm asking you to be somewhat very close to your environment first. Understand your boss, your subordinate, your team member, and completely please be with your existing structure of relationships while answering these questions. After all, this is your feedback, your thing. Ultimately, you identify your own blind spots, your own windows as such, sizes of the windows. So please be as close as possible with your work-related climates. And then your 3, 2 answers can be clear. Because I just can't say who is your subordinate and what type of you have your own subordinate or your colleague or your bosses. Because I'm not there in the periphery. You are there in the relationships. You have Jardic relationships here. That means you have your own boss, you have your own subordinate, you have your own team member, colleague. This is what we call Jardic relationships normally. And it is true in the case of in software sector also. Of course, you'll be having a modern organizational climate scenario-oriented organizations where you will be working absolutely well with some sort of ignited cooperation and all, but still there are a lot of hiccups in the process. So that's what I say. I think I'm clear on this. Be as close as possible to narrate your relationships with your team members. The questions can be answered.
I have a question.
Thank you. Sir, tell me, sir.
Unfortunately, I am in the car actually, so I'm just traveling. But I can't really put the hands on the mobile for now. But I have a small question. There are two questions from my side. So Ramana sir, I have a relationship with the Johari name. I don't know where the Johari name came from that for that window that you have shared.
Yes.
What is the history behind it? And the second question is, if it relates to the professional environment, there are many. I mean, I have faced many situations, but one of the specific situation that I want to mention is there was a construction company which I worked in India, and in that company there was a purchase admin. He always has this idea of keeping his subordinates down. I mean, the last few moments of your ending has given that answer to me, but I just want to be sure if anything such comes in future. Let's say that the person, the same climate person or the mindset person who puts his subordinate down every time, then and now, like whatever it might be the situation is.
Yes, yes.
So I would like to ask, like, how this Johari window really helps me on that. Sometimes I feel that staying calm before such kind of persons is very much good, rather than sharing the ideas and hand overing all the credit of my own success to his under his hands. So I would like to prefer to be silent, whether that is a good step or not. Those are my two questions.
Sir, if one, I just answer your second question first and comes the first question next.
Yep.
Is it clear? Okay. The question is, sir, it's your diagnosis first. You please diagnose what the scenario is. And then taking action is according to the code of conduct of your organization as such. You need not be silent, because you being the superior officer, you have every intervention open as per the disciplinary codes of conduct of employees, as a matter of fact. So you sometimes you need to open the rule book and then act accordingly in order to manage relationships. Any indifferent employee cannot be tolerated at a given point of, because when it is disturbing your team, team scenario, as a matter of fact. So what it means here is, it's not the tool which helps you to diagnose your behavior modes, sir. So how you are fixing yourself in terms of the present contextual relationship climate. So if you have a big open area, you are good going. You are good going in terms of managing your relationships. Otherwise, it becomes a problem area. This is highly structured, behaviorally reliability and validity tested questionnaire. Of course, it's not very comprehensive, but at the same time, if you can understand the list of questions clearly and able to plot your things straight away, you can decipher your that kind of a window. So if you are sure to have a open area size bigger, and then it is fine. But then you need to explore how to expand. As you have said, whether how the subordinate is not properly functioning with you. You need to identify the reasons why it is. Is it because of your self-disclosure issue, or because of somebody, his own problem, or whatever it is? It's highly complicated because it's not machines. And repairs and maintenance are easy for machines, but for human beings, it is tougher, especially relationship climate. X-boss, he may say X-boss is better, Y-boss is worse, and Z-boss, we don't know, and all that. These are the funny questions when we talk about human beings, when we are not standardized. Our chemistry becomes absolutely influential by the type of people with whom we are around. So that's
I completely agree, sir. I completely agree. Like, because because of his behavior, I gave then and there right away the top-up answer that triggered him to complain it to the management. And by God's grace, the managing director has given me a shoulder that I was doing right because of his behavior. I just want to clarify that whether that was a right step or not.
It's not right or wrong, sir. You see, this tool is. I'm not getting into management of human relationships. Please, don't take me that way. My intention for the today's talk is present the tool which can help you to diagnose yourself, especially in a scenario when decoding becomes difficult. Sometimes your decoding of yourself becomes difficult, and decoding others also become difficult. As I've already started with a saying that we don't have manuals, user guides as such. That's the problem. So managing relationships is another area. This is completely another area. This is only a diagnostic part, I tell you. But any answers from your perspective, I just can't answer it from the given context and backdrop of the discussion. If you would like to extend the discussion a little later some way, then we talk in detail about human relations climates and what are the research findings on managing relationships. That's entirely a different canvas for us to discuss. That's my confusion.
Sure, sir.
Again, the first question is that, because that's a research area, sir, because the problems, of course, the origin of the instrument is somewhere around 1947, 48, something like that, where the human behavior is considered to be somewhat non-standardized. So they thought it proper to talk in terms of, because that's where, industrial revolution started, sir. So after you know what it matters when we talk about revolutions, agricultural revolution to industrial revolution. Today, of course, we have industry 4.0 and all, knowledge workers and all. We have different settings. So at that given point of time, when your people enter in a manufacturing sector, there's a team effort and all that, boss subordinate relationships and all. Then it became a thing. So they started looking at, if you want to manage your relationships, try to answer this. So that's how it went on, sir. So it is acclaimed to be one of the good tools. Even today, also they are, in corporate training programs, they are using it in order to help oneself to understand their window pattern. That's what it means.
Thank you, sir. That answers my
question. I think I answered my your
yes,
query.
Yes, absolutely, sir. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhargav. Thank you so much. Krishnaraj Garu, how are you, sir? We are not seeing you frequently in Suprabhata.
అవునండి మధ్య రాలేదండి
అదే అనుకుంటున్నాం. Okay, sir.
So it's so wonderful thing that I'm hearing. So it is a paramount of understanding oneself.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, I still remember that when I am in the 9th grade or 10th grade time low, I still remember that I used to ask the question to my friends, is there anything that you think I should change?
Right.
Yeah, this is actually a difficult question, but I don't know. Somehow that time maybe I read some books or something, or somehow I have that consciousness of asking that. But I still remember it is painful to listen.
That is what is called soliciting feedback, sir. We want to know what our functioning is okay or not. Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. So I would say whoever is interested in more of this understanding oneself, also try to read the books of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. There also you see a lot of understanding of human, understanding of emotions, how we behave. So that will actually give us some understanding. When sir said about user manual for a human being, actually there is I wouldn't say there is a perfect user manual, but there are books, there are the people who researched understanding what is inputting into us and what is coming out of us. So there are books, research about the NLP, whoever is interested more. I have seen some answers there for these questions. And looking at ourselves, basically we can divide this as a look from inside and look from outside. Look from inside is trying to understand by ourselves what we are, and looking from outside is asking others what they are looking in us. So it is like one thing that I want to say here is do not try to increase the openness of a Johari window of others. It is about opening our Johari.
Yes, sir. Self, yes.
Yes. So if we see that, we always see problem in others, and if we see that, hey, his Johari window is not open, and we don't need to work in opening others' Johari window.
Yeah.
We need to work on our Johari. That is something that we have to keep in mind when we are working.
Yes, sir. True, sir. It is self-centered, sir. It is a self-tool as such. You have to identify your size of the window open.
Yeah, because we always have the blind spots. We need to recognize our blind spots and open them up.
Exactly.
Though we can see what others' blind spots are, we don't need to spend time working on others' blind spots and how to give them a feedback so that they can open up. Don't focus more on that. Focus on how to open ours.
Yes. Thank you, Krishna Das. Shalini ma'am, how are you?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. And I'm glad, sir, Ramana Murthy, sir. And it is again a different facet to hear from you other than my profession, because I have implemented this tool as a self-help tool for the clients in counseling. So as we are talking and you have explained so many things for self-awareness and self-help, though it has limitations again.
Yes.
And then ultimately, when it comes to an organizational behavior and our group dynamics, everything falls within us. Like as Krishnamraju garu cheppinattu, manam vere valla window ni talupu terisi vallaki ela cheste help avutundi kante, it is again for us, myself, who I am and who am I to myself and as well as others. So in general, manam how we behave is through our experiences and perceptions. Any behavior throughout the life, it is based on our experiences and perceptions. When it is coming to the organization, we need to be very conscious in self-evaluating before we judge someone. So likewise, without judgment, we humans cannot survive. Actually, we say, don't judge me, don't judge. But there is judgment in every ounce what we, live, like we breathe. It is with judgment only. But then we should be conscious what we are talking. And, generally this judgment also follows. It is carried by the patterns and the prejudice thinking we carry over the generations, which has the wrong impact on our perception and evaluation on others. So we can improve with this Johari window in our communication, how to improve our communication, where it happens only when we have our own concept, self-concept and self-belief. With that, we can equally respect others' positives as well as negatives. Then there is no glitch in the communication and, addressing them in a positive way. Somebody who was driving, he was saying that, how do I address, whether should I reply or ignore on a point key? It is completely like others' point of view. We are not bothered about their opinion. It is that how good and well we express our understanding about themselves and how we are affected with their communication or anything. So here, to have the good impact of this Johari window, we need to remove, as you have clearly mentioned, that to remove the blind spots. That is the first priority we need to do, which increases the understanding of our capacities and decrease the misunderstanding, which overall improve the collaborative work in any atmosphere, not only in the organization, even in the family dynamics as well. Yeah. So, and adding to that, Mirantu, there are so many things other than the verbal expressions, which are coming under non-verbal, like eye contact nunchi intuition varaku enno untai. So all this will help us to express and vice versa to understand and communicate effectively. So I have added so many points by listening to your version as well, and I'm very grateful to be present in this session today. And again, I conclude this with one statement that Johari window is an experiential validation for ourselves also, for others also.
Absolutely.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Andy. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalini Garu, for your value additions to the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a wonderful session as usual. Your in-depth analysis in human behavior and attitude made us the session a powerful one, and it crystal clear గా చూపించింది మీ ప్యాషన్ ఏంటో అసలుకి ఇక్కడ. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. ఎందుకంటే అసలుకి ఫస్ట్ ఇది చెప్తుంటే ఇట్స్ మోర్ ఆర్ లెస్ ఈక్వలెంట్ టు సైకాలజీ సెషన్. కాకపోతే మీరు మమ్మల్ని ఎలా తీసుకెళ్లారంటే, మమ్మల్ని మేము రికగ్నైజ్ చేసుకోవాలి, మనల్ని మనం ఫస్ట్ రికగ్నైజ్ చేసుకోవాలి. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం వీ నీడ్ టు అనలైజ్, అండర్స్టాండ్ అదర్స్ అనేది బాగా చెప్పారు. అండ్ ఏదన్నా కానివ్వండి, బ్లైండ్ స్పాట్ కానివ్వండి, హిడెన్ ఏరియా అని కానీ ఏదైనా సరే, ఇట్ స్టార్ట్స్ విత్ అస్. ఫస్ట్ అస్, వాట్ వీఆర్, వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్, వాట్ ద స్ట్రెంగ్స్ అండ్ మైనసెస్ వీ హ్యావ్. ఎందుకు అలా అర్థం చేసుకున్నాం, పోనీ అర్థం చేసుకుంటున్నాం, ఎందుకు అలా అర్థం అవుతున్నారు, కరెక్టా, పోనీ ఎదుటోళ్ళు సలహాలు ఇస్తున్నారు, ఆర్ దే ఆర్ గివింగ్ వాలిడ్ సజెషన్స్, మనం ఏదైనా ప్రేమతో ఇస్తున్నారా, బాగుపడాలని ఇస్తున్నారా, లేకపోతే కావాలని జెలసీతో ఇస్తున్నారా. ఇదంతా ఎప్పుడు తెలుస్తుంది? వెన్ వీ అండర్స్టాండ్ అవర్ సెల్స్ ఫస్ట్ అండ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ అదర్స్. సింపుల్ అండ్ క్రిస్టల్ క్లియర్ గా మీ ప్యాషన్ ని, ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ని జోడించి మళ్ళీ బాగా చెప్పారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వన్స్ అగైన్ ఫర్ ఎన్ వండర్ఫుల్ సెషన్. చాలా చెప్పాలండి, టైం కన్స్ట్రైన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
Thank you, Hema. Thank you so much.
అండ్ వీ నీడ్ సచ్ సెషన్స్ మోర్ సార్. ఎందుకంటే ఇది చూస్తుంటే ఇది సరిపోదు అనిపిస్తుంది, ఇంకా ఇంకా ఏదో తెలుసుకోవాలి అంటే. ఇప్పుడు మీతో ఇలా మాట్లాడుతున్నా కానీ అర్థమైనట్టుంది, అర్థం కానట్టు ఉంది. ఇట్స్ ఆల్ డిఫరెంట్ perspective. It's all depends on perspective at the same time and the experiences we are dealing with. So we need such more sessions, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
One second. Actually, we have 15 people left, and I want to actually, what do they call, hijack the session. I have something to show, because I have, since it is a tech kshetra, and I have, if you give me just 5 to 6 to 7 minutes, I'll just show quickly one small, slide where I'm developing an app, and I want to quickly flash that.
Recording stopped.
I want to actually, take early adopters to the app, so that, that will be inspiring for me to move forward. If you can give me, I will, please excuse me for extending this session for little more time. Is it possible for me to present? I'll quickly do that. It's a share. you're able to see this, right? So basically, we all hear one thing in the phones. Inkenti. Inkenti anedi, when we don't have much, once important conversation is done, we'll continue to talk. What else? What else? What else అనేది మనం కాల్ మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు జనరల్గా ఏదైనా కాల్స్ మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు ఒక్కొక్కసారి మనకు తెలియకుండానే మనం కాల్ చాలా ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతాం. మన ఫ్రెండ్స్ కానీ మన కజిన్స్ కానీ వీళ్ళతో మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు సమ్ టైమ్స్ వీ డోంట్ పుట్ ఆన్ ద కాల్ ఈవెన్ దో the gist and the important communication has already been completed. This many times this will extend, and at the end of the call we'll be little drained and we'll be thinking, oh God, lot of time is gone. Sometimes one hour, sometimes 1.5 hours also I have seen even in my scenarios. So I have realized this and I kept this in my mind to implement some app. When we make a call, it will actually show how much time we are spending on it and how it will alert us and to say, okay, it's already a lot of time and we need to put down the call. So the problem here comes is that we'll be losing in time. There need to be some system that will help us. So here I will open up the. You can see the screen. So this is the. In some of the screens I have taken because I don't know how to show live because it's only in my phone. So this screen will actually, when you it will show outline of how many calls you are making in a day and how much time you are talking in the day. And here you have people you can actually organize all your contacts into family, work, friends, and VIPs, because here I should show all the screens, but I did not take screenshot for everything. Here you can organize your contacts into family, work, or friends. And okay, there are not every screenshot is here. So here what happens is when you make a call, it will pop up a window showing that how much time you actually categorized for that call to be. And once the time is up, it will actually alert saying that you already spent this much time in the call. If there is anything, quickly conclude the call by telling important information and close the call. So after the call, if we have completed the call within time, it will appreciate us, or it will alert us that you are actually talking more than what is needed in the call. So this application I have been keeping in the Android App Store, and I will be sending a form. If anybody is interested to install that and be an early adopters to see how it is functioning, and if you guys can give you the feedback based on that, I will continue to improve it further and take it to the production. So in this it will actually, you didn't see all the screens. Maybe I should find a way how I can share my real-time screen in the phone and demonstrate. But for now, I want to quickly do it because otherwise I have to wait for next week for Tech Shelter. So I will be sending the form in our group, to take further. And when the time permits, when you guys have time, I will take a separate session. Thank you.
Sir, is this in Play Store or you will be sharing some link we can install?
Actually, I will send a Play Store because I do not want to send APKs because that is not the right thing to do. Even though you trust me on that, still I am trying to. I'll keep it in the App Store. Play Store for Google. Currently, I don't have iOS app. It's only Android app. But the thing is, since it is not publicly available and for the early adopters, you need to
Enable developer.
yes, no, you need to simply accept that you are downloading it as a tester kind.
Okay.
And then once you enroll as a early adopter, then it will give you access to the. First, you need to share me the email. For whoever shared me the emails, I will include in the early adopter list. Once I keep in that list, it will allow you to participate in the early adopters. Then it will let you download the app from the
Okay.
store.
Sure, sir. We'll share you.
Thank you.
One word, Sandeep. I am extremely thankful to you for your excellent coordination. Express my gratitude for your very benevolent presentation. I mean to say presence and also steering the conversations, questions, and all that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.